G'day, Josh here with the Chess Rush video, and in this one we're going to be talking about a human build that I put together and I have used a few times in my streams. Some of you have asked exactly how it works. I'm going to break down the build and look at some match result as well to give you an example of just what it matches up very well against. This is the build, and you can straight away see that it does use some featured heroes. It is 6 human. It ends up being 4 sorcerers, 2 warlock, 2 undead, 2 punishers, 2 summoners, and a demon. And you can see the pieces here. I'll actually, I think this is what I need to hit. Nope, not that one. It is this one. No, it is that one. Sorry, my mistake. Just so I can focus on the individual heroes that we're using. So we start off with General of War. He's now a 3-cost human warrior. Then one of our human sorcerers is Flamecaller. We've got Misfortune for both her undead and warlock combos. Lightbringer as another human sorcerer. Marshlord as a warlock summoner. We don't care about his beast ability in this lineup, but he's also one of the most broken heroes at the moment, so it's very good to use him. Then we've got Frost Lotus, another human sorcerer. She's our final human sorcerer. Lancelot is a human punisher, and we're using him obviously as a human, but also so we can pair him with Lucifer. Joan of Arc as a human summoner. She's also the best 1-cost hero in the game right now. One of the best legendaries and one of the best damage dealers in the game. This gives us our undead combo and is also another sorcerer, so he gets the sorcerer combo boost there, the Dark Mage. And finally, Lucifer, one of the best heroes in the meta at the moment, alongside Marshlord as a Punisher. So getting him alongside Lancelot gives us 2 Punisher, and that's really, really beneficial as well. So that is the full build. That is the 10 hero version. If you're only at level 9, you can not use the Dark Mage. That means you don't have undead, but that's not as important because a lot of your damage is coming from magic abilities anyway. It is nice to get to, but that is what I would take out if I was just at level 9. And I would like to now find... I've got one queued up here. If I scroll back a little bit, here we go, there it is. Let's jump into a game. You can see that I actually got a 2-star Dark Mage here. You can see the end result here. We're going to jump in and just quickly skip through this and see how the game went. And you'll see the sorts of builds that I'm beating, and I'll be able to sort of talk through some of the other builds that it matches up well against. Like any comp though, it's not going to be the best against everything. So the one build that it does struggle against is Hunters. And that's not uncommon of sorcerers to struggle against hunter builds, but it does match up very well against a lot of other types of builds. So we're going to skip through here. At this point in time, you can see that I'm running 2 cyborg and 2 humans. Cyborg is a very strong early game comp. 2 or 4 cyborg can be really useful early before you get to the later stages. But you can see that I currently have quite a few 2-stars on the board. One of the things you have to keep in mind with this composition is because you do run a couple of 1-costs in Joan of Arc and Frost Lotus, you've also got a low value 2-cost in Marshlord that is really crucial to this comp. You want to actually spin a little bit early. So often I will spend rounds when I'm at level 5 and sometimes level 6. Instead of spending on leveling up, I will spend the crystals during those levels 5 and level 6, because of these percentage chances, 45% chance and 35% chance of finding 1 and 2 costs. I'll actually refresh the shop a bit. You see there's another Joan of Arc in that shop, which I'm about to pick up as I win this round and I get the extra crystal. Or actually, no, I end up locking that shop. You can see that there, just so I guarantee that I do get that Joan of Arc as I'm collecting extra pieces to try and 3-star her. If you can 3-star Joan of Arc, she's incredibly strong, especially when you get 6 humans and you get the 50% chance to re-roll her ability or get another soldier out of her. That's very, very strong. Now let's skip through. We'll go to like round 12. And you can see that I've now got 5 humans, 2 punishers, 2 summoners. I'm still actually short. I haven't found Lightbringer yet, but you can see if I hit, I'm going to hit pause here. You can see my featured hero set has been locked in. And these are the featured heroes you want to be using. So Joan of Arc in your 1-cost, Marshlord in your 2-cost. Your 3-cost actually doesn't matter, and your 4-cost needs to be Lightbringer. I'm using Molly, Dr. Molly as my wild card, just as another summoner. It gives me another option if I haven't found the rest of my pieces yet, but I'm usually not running Horn Menace or Dr. Molly. And then obviously Dark Mage as your legendary. You could choose your wild card to be a different value, maybe another 3-cost, because you don't have, I mean, it's a tough one because you actually end up running, I think, 3 costs in General of War, Lucifer, and Flamecaller. I've gone with the 4-cost. But you can do, I wouldn't go a legendary and I wouldn't go a 1 or 2 cost because it's so important to find Joan of Arc especially, and Marsh Lord, and it's really nice having one less legendary in the pool to make it easy to find those dark mages. But you definitely need at least Joan of Arc, Marsh Lord, Lightbringer, and the Dark Mage as 4 of your 6 featured heroes, and then that allows you to run this sort of stuff. Now, my positioning is usually back corner to protect those squishier sorcerers and the Marsh Lord. Let's hit play here. You can actually have a look at some of the builds that we're up against here. So we've got another sorcerer build. There is actually a hunter build, but it's an off-meta hunter build in that it's running cyborg hunters. There's a Punisher build, some assassin build, a Punisher, well, a couple of Punisher builds underway, but no one has really reached full build potential yet. So let's go to round 16. Now at this point in time, we're down to 5 players and the builds are starting to come together. So I am sitting on top. I've got a pretty nice value build. I've found my Dark Mage. I have got the 3 sorcerers now because of that. I've got a human sorcerer build and a Punisher build, and then that off-meta hunter build that I'm competing with. The person in 5th doesn't really have it going on. You can see that they're going to get knocked out soon. But as you already saw, as I was going into this replay, I do end up winning. In fact, we'll actually watch. Let's watch the round 17 battle. Let's see. I match up against what? I match up against a human sorcerer here. I can tell by the fact there's a bunch of sorcerers on the other. So he's rocking a full sorcerer build, and my human sorcerer mix ends up very, very close at this point. But I don't have 6 humans just yet, so I narrowly lose that one at that point. And in fact, just like that, we're now down to 2, and it's now me versus the full 6 sorcerer build. And obviously, you know the end result, I do end up winning. So let's skip through. What's the final round here? Probably round 21 or round 22. No, we're still going. There we go. Round 23 is the final result. You'll see that I'm actually slightly outvalued here. I am still spinning the shop. I end up finding a guru. I have a very good idea that, well, in fact, I'm down to 14 HP, so leveling up the Dark Mage there was pretty big for us, and it gives us a slight value lead. I do have 10 heroes to my opponent's 9 heroes. He does also have a 2-star Dark Mage and a 3-star Miss Supersonic. And you can see me splitting my positioning, but still back corners, just to prevent a little bit of the area effect damage from affecting me too much. If all my heroes are in one corner, then all of his burst damage can be quite lethal. And you can see there that this is going to be the final battle. And this gives you an idea of just how lethal this build can be against a full sorcerer comp. It also, because of the area of effect damage that I can put out and all of the human double casts, it's very effective against summoner builds. It's very effective against Punisher builds, but as I touched on, does slightly struggle against Hunter builds unless you are outvaluing them. So that's the way that that is put together. I'll give you one last look at what that lineup looks like as we scroll down to the Sorcerer Human lineup. There it is there. That's all of the combos. And finally, the actual Sorcerer featured hero set that I'm using to pull that off. The important ones there being Joan of Arc, Marsh Lord, the Dark Mage, and I've got Lightbringer there in my wildcard slot as a 4 cost, of course. So that is the build. A ton of fun and really, really versatile against most of the meta, just weak against hunters. If you've used this or something like it, please let me know what you think of it down in the comments below. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Make sure to hit that sub button if you haven't already. And until next time, I'll see you later.